What's up, guys? Today we're here at the Cougar Cast recording studio. We are super excited for today's episode. We have a super special guest. Can you give it up for Mr. Montenegro? Mr. Montenegro?
Thank you.
I know you've been really open to talk to us about your life during chapel and all of that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt for you to speak more about that today. Can you tell us a bit about your background, Mr. Montenegro?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to share. I'm really excited. And as you know me, I'm really nervous. So I'm going to try my best. My English is not that great, but I'm really excited. So, well, I'm a missionary. I'm a missionary pastor. I've been a missionary pastor for over 20-some years. And I've been to different places around the world. For example, in Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Wow.
And in Europe, well, several countries. But out of those countries, I spent 10 years, a little bit over 10 years in Barcelona. As you know, 2 out of my 3 boys, Joaquin and Roberto.
Yes.
But the 3 boys were born and raised in Barcelona, Spain.
Wow.
Where we were missionaries. We were missionaries there for 10 years. And then we came back here to Guatemala, spent 4 years in San Pedro La Laguna, Titlan, with the Sutu Hill culture that is very unique. And then we came back, and the Lord brought us here with a purpose. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward for what the Lord has in store for us, CAG 24-25.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you here. We're interested to see and to learn more about you. So could you tell us more about your role at CAG? What do you do at CAG?
Well, I have different roles, but my main role here is a chaplain. I would be the pastor of the youth. And for me, the most important thing, my priority is to engage with the kids and for them to be passionate about reading, to have a personal relationship with the Lord through reading the Bible, praying, and having different activities that honors God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Mr. Montenegro, today's episode is about struggles with faith. And what do you think are some of the biggest struggles teenagers have with faith? Like getting to know Jesus, spreading the gospel. What are some difficulties we might encounter?
Well, there's several ones, but the one that is very popular right now and is gaining more momentum, I guess, is social media influence. I mean, the social media could be a great tool for to share the gospel, but at the same time, it might keep you distracted for your main goals in life. Like, for example, your studies, the relationship with your parents, with family, even with your friends. So we need to be careful with the social media. At the same time, we understand that nowadays, especially, we live in an anti-Christ culture, and we need to know that. And for example, like I was telling you before, I was a missionary in Europe, 10 years in Spain. And one of the episodes that I had is that I was trying to do a evangelism outreach event. And I asked for a permit at least 12 times, and it was denied.
Wow.
And I brought this youth team from Finland. So we risk and we share the gospel. We got a little bit in trouble. I got a ticket sharing the gospel, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So I understood that we live in an antichrist culture. That means that you can do whatever you want. It's okay. Once you don't hurt the person next to you, it's great. So it's kind of like scary. And also, for example, technology could be a factor of distraction. For sure. There's so much technology, but if we can use it the right way, of course, it could be a big blessing. Also, one of the pressures that you have, you guys, it's when it comes to sexual purity. And I need to talk about this. This is very important because nowadays you can do whatever you want. And it's like you have some options. The world tells you that you have some options. Yeah. But the Lord tells you there is a plan for you. If you follow his plan, you will be blessed. He honors your effort to stay pure. So sexual purity was one of the things that you have a lot of pressure going on.
Yeah.
You are exposed to a lot of bad things through the internet that you didn't ask for. They're just one click away. So the more connected you are with the source, that is Jesus Christ, through the Bible and prayer, the less chances that you're going to have to make a mistake. And also, one of the things, it's the last one I will say right now, it's when the parents are absent. Nowadays, they're so busy that they don't have the time to I say the same word, but they don't have the time to spend quality time with their kids.
Yeah.
And quality times means to spend enough time and fun time with the parents. So that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you said. One of the things, like the first thing that came to mind when I saw that question or when I heard it was social media. Especially now we live in a culture where almost everyone at all kinds of ages has social media. They're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. They're usually on it. And there are times where I've had to distance myself from my phone and social media in general because it really can be such a toxic place to be as a Christian because of all the things that people tell you, especially about sexual impurity. It's really difficult, and I definitely see it as a struggle that a lot of Christians, especially younger Christians, are going through in this generation, and it can affect your walk with Jesus for sure. And so, as a Christian, what do you think it means to truly follow Jesus, and what does that look like in your daily life? How do you include Jesus as the Lord in your day-to-day life?
Well, I believe we need to exercise faith. And the only way that you can do it is the very first thing in the morning, like I said, connected to the source. If you connect to the source early in the morning, you're landing your feet on the floor. Once you get out of bed, you connect to the source. You start with a thankful heart. And I know that starting the day with God, it gives you a lot of chances to do the right things at the right time throughout the day. Every day is very particular and unique. And if we focus on the Lord, you can overachieve whatever is you have.
So right now we were talking about technology and all, and I know some parents may be curious about this and struggle with this. What are some rules, or if there are any rules to be implied with social media and all of that? What do you think about the rules that could be there?
Okay, for example, I'm gonna open my heart and be very open, honest with you. I'm terrible with technology, and my kids know about it, and they want to take advantage. Listen to this, because I have 3 boys, 17, 15, and almost 13. But my wife, she's a techie girl, and she uses all these resources for them to have a structure. A structure is vital. I mean, that means that they have certain hours to do their homework. They have leisure time also. But also, we need some protection with the parental guidances that they have right now. And we try to use every single source that is on media to prevent for them to get exposed to anything bad, like, say, for example, pornography or something like that. So the most important thing is that we are aware that they are exposed. Yes. We cannot be naive about the situation. And if we're not naive, we try our best. And always remember, and I'm going to quote this, this is very important, that the Lord honors effort. Effort on behalf of the parents and effort on behalf of you guys. If you make an effort, the Lord will honor you. If our parents, us, for example, me, I try my best even though I'm not a techie guy, the Lord will honor the effort because he knows our hearts.
Yeah, and I definitely think that social media, even though it can be very much a bad thing for Christians, I definitely have seen positive aspects of Christianity and technology and social media. It makes it, a lot easier to spread the word and spread the gospel. But in the end, it is very good to have rules and structure, as you said, to make sure that you're doing it responsibly and in a way that honors the Lord. And
one thing, for example, like you were saying right now, and it's, for example, right here, I'm in a studio here at CAG, and you're using technology to bless your peers. I mean, I'm really excited. I'm really nervous, like I said, but I'm really excited that you're learning through technology to use it as an instrument for His glory. Just you are an example. All this setting that is so fancy, high tech, and again, Prophet Carlos Rodas, I really appreciate that your knowledge you apply it on the kids, and I'm really excited. I feel like very important person.
Since we're talking about social media, I feel like I have to ask this question, but what are some ways we can evangelize? What are some ways we can accomplish our mission as Christians to evangelize through social media? Like we're doing right now, we're doing a podcast, but for us students with our phones, what can we do from our houses? Yeah.
I mean, the way you apply technology with your friends, you can apply it to do evangelism. But first, you must be like really excited about being a Christian. Like really excited. Like for example, when you have some great news to your friends, you want to share them through WhatsApp, through whatever channels you have. Same thing. If you're connected to the source, like I keep saying again and again, if you're really excited, you don't have any choice but to share the good news through a video, through a podcast or something. And remember, the Lord honors your effort.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would say one of the ways that I've been able to use technology to improve my relationship with the Lord is especially the Bible app. They have plans for devotions, and it's a really good thing to be able to do. Like in the morning when you wake up, and I'm able to do a short devotional. It's really helpful to have it be super accessible, and it really is important for a lot of people who may not have access to a physical Bible or someone there to share the word with them. And I do notice that it's helped grow my relationship with Jesus. And so in what ways have you been growing spiritually here at CAG? How have you been able to deepen your relationship with Jesus?
Oh, since the very first day. The very first day that I came on, I guess much of you don't know, but when I came, nobody was around because it was July, but I started on July. So it was empty. So I was by myself walking all over the place, and I was exposed to the word because it was in the walls. It was everywhere. So I keep reading and reading. The word is like, wow, we are exposed to the word here. And eventually something is going to capture your attention. So for me, at the very beginning, first day, I feel like I was the one learning. I wanted to give, but that's the thing. When you want to give, you will receive, the Bible says.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it works. So I was really excited. I was looking forward. You have a lot of resources here too. I was so excited that you have a big biblioteca.
Library.
The library is very. So for me, it was. I was preparing myself to serve, and I get more out of it. And for example, the connection that I've been having with the students, it's amazing. It's really nice.
And other than being a Christian school, what are some ways that you think that CAG has done a really good job at incorporating biblical perspectives or the Lord in general?
Oh, this is the only place, and I've been several ones that actually you have Bible throughout the week, and somebody can say, "Oh, you exaggerate too much," but I know the students here can say it's the opposite. The more, the better. You're being exposed. You have Bible classes 4 days out of a week, and then you have chapel and devotionals, and you're looking for ways to expand ministry. Like, for example, this podcast itself, it's a way that you have to do some evangelism and exposure. For example, in my particular case, this weekend we're gonna host Copa here for basketball, and for me, it's a way to evangelize the people that is gonna come, the guest.
Yeah.
Are you gonna preach during the Copa?
I'm always preaching.
Nice.
And well, sometimes you don't even know that I'm preaching, but I'm preaching. I don't have to be in a pulpit to share.
Exactly.
You know, I'm really excited for that opportunity that the Lord gave us, and it's through a relationship with the guests. So I'm looking forward. That's for me. Everything is opportunities.
Yeah. I definitely think that CAG has been really good at being able to incorporate the Lord and the Bible and so many different things. And I would say one of the things that I first noticed, or one of my favorite things that we've done that's more of an activity to evangelize, is we do servant days. And so we go out and we work with someone in our class's ministry, and we do either like manual labor, or we go out and we give food bags. And I think that it's such a wonderful way to truly like experience like real life evangelism and being able to go and spread the word to people. And so I think the CAG has truly done a wonderful job.
And saying that, thank you for the reminder, Olivia. 3-4 years ago, I remember that I received a call from Nathan Hardeman, and he told me about that he was doing servant days. And back then, I was a missionary in San Pedro Laguna. So he came with 2 teams 2 years in a row. And I saw the work that you guys did, and it was fantastic. It was a blessing for me as a pastor. Imagine the big blessing for the community.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right now that we're going out to serving, to evangelizing, many of us are going to churches, right? And we're going to work with the people there. And many of the children's, for example, me, I'm going to a ministry where they have a bunch of children, and not all of them are Christians, or their faith is, or God is their cornerstone, right? So what are some of the ways that for someone that does not believe in God, that maybe has the excuse that he says, well, I already read the Bible and I already tried to approach God, but it didn't turn out so well. What can we tell to those people to make them realize that's not really how it works?
Yeah, the thing is, we can say that if we seek God with our heart, we cannot find him. And for example, right now for 7 days, I'm looking forward, for example, for the kids that they don't know the Bible, they don't know the story. I prepare myself, I pray a lot, that the Lord is the one that speaks to their heart. I will try my very best. I'm so excited about telling the great heroes of the Bible, like David with Goliath, and Daniel and his friends, and Queen Esther. But the thing is, if I'm prepared through prayer, he promised me he will take care of the rest.
Yes. So, Mr. Montenegro, what do you think is a way that we would be able to explain difficult or controversial topics in the Bible to people who have like questions about it or who are not very sure about it? They're like, I don't know about that.
Well, that's a very important question. And the thing is that the Bible tells us that we don't need to get into conversations that they're not fruitful. And this is very important to know as Christians. For example, if we see that somebody's willing to learn from God, then we prepare ourselves with prayer. And if we know our Bible, we're going to get the right answer. Let me give you a quick example. For example, most of the people, when I went to Spain as a missionary, they told me, "Oh, you're gonna it's a cemetery of the missionaries. Don't go there. It's so difficult. Spaniards are so difficult." But I was so excited, and I felt the call from the Lord to go there. So I was trying prepare myself as much as I could. So I remember that I was having coffee with this person that he was a Catalan. It's from Catalonia, Spain. And he was telling me, I'm going to tell you upfront, Pastor, that I don't believe in a God. And my answer, I don't believe, he said, I don't believe that a God exists. And I look at him and I say, it's okay. It's okay if you don't believe that a God exists. God, it is whether you believe in him or not. He's not going to change. But I understood the culture. Since I knew the culture, it's like, wow, but I'm telling you that he doesn't exist for me. And I said, yeah, he doesn't exist because he's not created. He is who he is, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in him. And for some reason, he said, oh, I never thought of that. Let's have another coffee. Let me hear more about that. So I truly believe if you are prepared, the Lord honored that, and he will take care of the whole conversation.
I agree that being prepared is like the key component to being able to answer difficult questions, because sometimes it's not that you just don't know the answers. It is that you don't know the answers, but you're really not prepared. And that's why I think it's so important for people to read the Bible. And obviously CAG does a great job at being able to teach things like apologetics and just more about the Bible in general. And so being prepared.
I know what you're saying. And for example, it came to my mind, I'm sorry, but my pastoral heart comes right away when you're saying that. And for example, the Bible tells us that we must be prepared. And I remember that I was talking to the seniors a month ago. And remember, everybody knows here, right? Everybody knows the story of David and Goliath, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, of course, the little guy killed the big dude, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is that the Bible says, and listen to this is very important. The Bible says that when he went to the camp, he was very upset. When he overheard the big guy, he was very upset. He was mad. He was frustrated. He wanted to fight him and kill him. And certainly he did. But why he did it, nobody understood. He said, oh, he's full of ego. He says, no, he was ready to go. And you know why he was ready? Because the Lord already trained him by killing the lion and the bear. So he was ready to go. And the lion and a bear were bigger and stronger than Goliath. So he was trained already. So that's why we were saying, when you are prepared, the Lord will gonna give you the victory.
Mm-hmm. And so kind of to wrap up the interview a little bit, what are some ways that the CAG can be praying for you?
I really appreciate that approach, and I will ask if you all can pray for the Lord to give me wisdom. Mm-hmm. I need wisdom. I can prepare myself as much as I can, but if I don't have wisdom that comes from God, it's not going to transcend. And I need wisdom from the Lord. So that's for me the most important thing. Mm-hmm. So if you can pray for me, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And to close this podcast up, we have a verse reading, 1 Timothy 4:12. Yes, 4:12. So Olivia, would you mind reading it for us?
I would like to read it for you. Okay, so it says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." And I definitely think that really ties in because especially the younger generation, I'm sure, is struggling with a lot of things, but we must remain in the Lord and remember that we are believers and that we can share the gospel and that we really are part of Christianity and that we can help evangelize. So, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, from listening to this podcast. Oh, Mr. Montenegro, would you like to say something before we finish?
Yes. And you know me. Whoever's watching this podcast or hearing this podcast, I have a riddle. I have a riddle for the audience. And whoever solved the riddle, not you guys, it's the people that is watching or hearing this podcast, I'm going to whoever gives me a paper with the answer, and then I see that the answer is right, I invite him to 2 slices of pizza or a hot dog or something. Whoever gives me first this piece of paper. And the riddle goes like this. On the outside, it shines like gold, but on the inside, it's an evil trick. Say it again. On the outside, it shines like gold, but on the inside, it's an evil trick. Okay. So I let you that with the riddle. If you give me the answer on a piece of paper whenever you see me, and if it's the right answer, whoever give it to me first and the answer is right, well, you get a treat in La Bendición for up to 20 quetzales, 2 slices of pizza or hot dog or something, okay? Oh, thank you guys very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montenegro.
Well, thank you all for listening to this podcast. Once again, we're going to be here next week, so be ready. We are going to have another incredibly special guest. We don't know yet who he's going to be, but prepare. That's all I'm going to say. Goodbye.
Thank you.